Okay, in the strategic thinking, there are two things that are very important: know hows and know what. I think you may have heard a lot about know hows. Know how is the ability to solve the problem, and that's the ability to solve the problem, and which is actually acquired naturally, even if it takes time. Even if it takes time, you can acquire the problem solving capabilities, and then that's the know-hows. So if you have a lot of extensive experiences, or if you know how to solve the problems very well, that's all related to know-hows. Okay, so far, know-how is very important asset of an individual or of the company, and it's an intangible asset. It's very important because if you exercise a lot of jobs, and then your ability to mastering the way to achieve the job can be accumulated. Okay, so your know-how level will be improved. But in the fourth industrial revolution, know what is more important than know-hows. Okay, know what is the important thing people have to do is to think first about what problems they want to solve, okay, by using artificial intelligence rather than simply using it. So as I said, that we have to live with the artificial intelligence in solving the problems, and in some areas artificial intelligence might be in a better position to solve the problem itself. Artificial intelligence may master all the know-hows through the deep learnings, and the artificial intelligence may quickly master all the ways, all the know-hows to solve the problems very well. So the human beings cannot compete with the artificial intelligence in the area of the know-hows. Instead, human beings have to focus on building the know-whats. So know what is related to defining the problems, and then setting the agenda and give the instruction to the artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence may follow the order of the human beings in solving the problems very quickly. So if we divide the jobs into two categories, one is the job for the human beings and the other the jobs for the artificial intelligence, know what is for the human beings and know how is for the artificial intelligence. So that's why I emphasize the human beings should have problem definition capability as their core capabilities in the fourth industrial revolutions. McKinsey and Company is one of the best management consulting firms in the world, and I used to work for the McKinsey and Company for a certain period of time, and based on my experience, I personally think one of the core competitive advantages of McKinsey and Company is excellent problem-solving skills, actually, while working on various customer projects. So in McKinsey and Company, the formal training is very short and minimized. All the learnings in McKinsey & Company can be obtained through the real projects of the customers and what the problems want to the McKinsey consultant is that solving their complicated problems. So McKinsey & Company's core competency is the excellent, talented management consultants who are solving the problems very well. Especially in McKinsey & Company, they emphasize a lot in the problem definition rather than solving capabilities. Okay, so that's the second capabilities. And finally, as I have emphasized a couple of times, resilience is the most important element we should have in living and doing the business in an environment full of uncertainties. Human competitiveness lies not in failure but in resilience, which happens again when it fails. So Nicholas Carr, who is the author of The Shallows, What the Internet is Doing to Our Brains, according to Nicholas Carr, resilience is one of the most important factors of the attributes we should have. So when the humans are faced with hard and difficult tasks and try to overcome them, can we cultivate abundant talents? So without such challenges or hard and difficult tasks, we cannot train ourselves a lot of talents. We can cultivate abundant talents only when we are faced with difficult challenges. And like creative thinking and problem definition, resilience is not innate. So we can learn and educate our capability of resilience. Okay. Companies also can foster resilience of their employees through intentional efforts. Like we can foster and educate the creative thinking by providing an environment where creative thinking might flourish. Especially for the startups or for anybody who wants to live who are living in those days, I think resilience is one of the most important factors. So failure is inevitable. So instead of trying to find out the best way to avoid the failure, and let's try to face the failures in case it's inevitable. And let's try to maximize our learnings and try to recover from the failures. Our resources are limited, and even the big companies cannot avoid the failures. So that's why they also try to foster resilience of their employees instead of trying to find the best way for the success. Okay, so that's about the first topic of today's class. And we are living in the fourth industrial revolution. And in the fourth industrial revolution, mainly because they are full of uncertainties and a lot of surprises are happening as normal. The required capabilities of the talented person should be different from the old economies. So in the past, leadership, teamwork, expertise in a certain job, communication skills, enthusiasm, and spirit were the factors for the success. Those are the important factors for the success in the old economy. But in the new economy of the fourth industrial revolution, I chose three attributes: creative thinking, strategic thinking, and resilience as the most important attributes required in the fourth industrial revolutions. Let me move on to the next topic of today's class. It's business model canvas. Okay. The concept of business model canvas was developed by Alex Ostwald, and he wrote a very famous book about business model. The title of the business model is Business Model Generation. Okay. And this book is widely used. The concept in the book of the business model generation is widely used in developing business models, not only for the startup founders, but also for the big companies. The concept of the business model and business model canvas are quite useful. Okay, so let me introduce the concept of the business model and its tool of developing the business model, which is business model canvas. What's the definition of the business model? Okay, a business model describes the rationale of how an organization creates and delivers and captures values. So it's all about capturing, delivering, creating values. What is the values when I say the here in terms of the business models? So value is the ultimate purpose of the company. Company exists to create, deliver values to their customers. Without creating the values, the company doesn't have any reason to exist. So the company exists for the purpose of creating the values. And what's the values? Let's think from the customer's point of view. As I have emphasized a couple of times, customer may need something or may want something to satisfy their basic needs or some other things they want. And it's been changing from time to time. Their needs and wants are not static, so it's dynamic. It's changing. So they try to satisfy their needs and wants by using the products or services. And once they are satisfied with the values provided by those products and satisfy the services, as time goes by, there might be some gaps in between what the customers want and needs and the values the company may provide through their products or services. So in that case, where there's a gap, that could be an opportunity for other companies like startups to fill out such gaps. In order for a new company to fill out such gaps, that startup should create something that could fill out the gaps, right? So something to get rid of such gap is another value the company may create. Products and services are just outside boxes, and the reason the customers may open their wallet is to get satisfaction from the values which is inside the boxes which the company provides or offers. And business model is all about how to create, how to deliver, and how to capture the values. Okay.